Live from Loudmouth Central, you're listening to Loudmouth Fisticuffs. Hosted by combat sports analyst Joshua Furs and international ring announcer Mr. Live Worldwide Jeff Houston. Half sports show, half comedy show, and half conspiracy show. 100% in your face. So open your ears, shut your mouth, and have a good fucking time.
Whoa, hey, 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 ho, ho, hey, hey, ho, ho, hey, hey, ho, hey, hey, ho, ho, hey, hey.
No.
Guys, welcome to Loudmouth Fisticuffs, episode 2828. I can't believe it. Jeff, really?
Yeah, that makes two of us, and 3 and 4 and 5 for the people who are going to be tuning in.
Yes, all five of you. Guys, over there, that's our I don't want to say it this week. That's the person that sits on that side of the thing, this box that we're in. It's Mr. Live Worldwide Jeff
That's
Houston.
kind of vague. That's kind of vague right there. The guy that sits over there from the movie last year and the guy with the thing. And yeah. Real, you had your heart in that introduction there, Mr. Furs.
Well, I mean, you won't let me call you my partner anymore, so I have to
It's just because there's a reason for that, is because that's the first description that you go to. There are many other things that you could say besides partner, but then again, you always come back to that. So there's apparently there are unresolved issues. I could be a partner in crime.
It's a little more than that.
Okay, see, you do have unresolved issues.
Hey, I'm just saying. I am Joshua Furs, and we thank you so much for tuning into this episode. My pal over there,
walking on eggshells.
he's fresh from Daytona Beach. He still has the sand in between his toes and some other orifices that we won't talk about.
I'm not fresh. I'm more like a day-old donut.
But we're ripe off of bare knuckle this weekend. Thiago Alves, versus Julian Lane was the main
said
event.
Alves before as well. I always thought that was the Portuguese way of saying it.
But it's Alves, right? Like, isn't that
it is
Alves? Okay.
It's not Alves. It's Alves. Alves sounds, Alves is more Spanish. Alves. If you don't put so much on the accent when you say it, you just say Alves. See?
Brian Maxwell, what's going on? Brian Maxwell, him and Sheena they kept me company. I thank them so much for, just hanging out with me during the fights. We did like a fight companion, and man, it was amazing. You should go check that out. I think like total combined views are up to like 6,000 or 7,000 or something now.
Which is interesting. Because of the fact that all you were doing was just sit there going like this.
That is not true, Jeff. Why do you do that to me? Do you hate me?
I don't hate you. I have a love-hate relationship with you. I love to hate you.
Okay. All right.
You have to get it right. But definite, big ups to Brian Maxwell for getting a fantastic opportunity with Toe the Line Fight Series, getting an opportunity to retool his game, because I think, honestly, that's one of the things that I love about the Toe the Line Fight Series, is because it gives the veterans an opportunity to retool their game and possibly see if there is anything within their repertoire that not only can they improve upon, but they can dominate upon. So it's a great opportunity. I'm really, really excited for you, Brian, to be part of the Toe the Line Fight Series. I really am, man.
Yeah, September 26th, a week and a half, give or take.
Up in Tunica.
In Tunica. So hopefully that stupid hurricane or tropical storm or whatever the hell it is, I know it's supposed to be shooting right up there. Hopefully it doesn't, mess up any
cause
plans
too much. Cause too much damage and put a bender on the show. You definitely don't want that happening. But BKFC 12 was awesome. It was a fantastic event up there down there in Daytona Beach. I keep saying up there, but I'm in South Texas. So easy to say up there when you're in South Texas, but I forgot there's somewhere lower you can go, and that, senor, is Florida. Josh Boudreau, the Cajun Crippler. Cajun Crippler actually was our first fight live on the BKTV app.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. And you know something, Josh, win, lose, or draw, man, I'm going to tell you, he's always got the best attitude. He's got the best attitude. And, I'm going to tell you something. You did not get the W that night, but, you were no worse for the wear when I saw you afterwards. You had a smile on your face because you realized that this isn't even a setback. What it is, it's a lesson.
It's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience, 100%. And they continue. And I'm going to tell you, the one thing that ends up beating you from those experiences is if you allow it to. If you allow the experiences to say, no more, I haven't had any more. And and you should be grateful, Josh, because this is a fantastic organization to be a part of. So
what's that old saying? Not learning from your experiences is the real loss, right? When you don't, I don't know exactly how it goes, but somewhere along those lines, maybe someone can help me pick up the pieces to that. But
quite a few to pick up.
Hey man, something like you know what I'm talking about. You get it. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, no risk, no reward. That's a good one too.
Hey, and when it comes to that, when it comes to adversity, think about this. This is a very good quote that I like to say. There isn't a tree in the world that the wind hasn't shaken.
That's mighty deep of you, Jeff.
That is so goddamn deep. I could sell it as an in-ground pool. Ooh.
Tom Shove, you love to hate him. Sounds like hate to me, homie. That's what I say too, Tom. Jeff, he's kind of like, I don't know what he's thinking sometimes. He's kind of off his own world. I don't know.
Tom, maybe I could call him like that running back from the XFL. He hate me. Maybe we could just go that way so we could end all the confusion. He hate me.
Secretly, Tom, don't let him fool you. Man. Don't let him fool you.
Man, Tom has given us so many moments with BKFC, and he did it again. He did it again this past Friday with the absolute there was no fight that even came close to Fight of the Night honors between Tom Shove and Joe Elmore. Tom, I'm going to tell you something. I know you didn't come up with the W, but your performance was the embodiment of what bare knuckle fighting is all about. You looked adversity right in the eye. There were 4 knockdowns, and you could tell each knockdown that you had, you were just more pissed off than the most, because I know in your mind you feel that you could have avoided it. But what did you do? What did you do? They weren't even devastating knockdowns. You got right back up, and boy, punches in bunches and clean, pretty shots. I mean, if they weren't clean, pretty shots, then take a look at Joe Elmore's face. Obviously, they were clean shots. Oh man, Joe Elmore, man, talk about cuts of the night. Him and Tiago definitely go for cuts of the night when it came to facial damage. But no, that was just absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I love Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship as much as I do, is because we get to see that heart, perseverance, and determination on display. As and you remember. Josh, when Joe was coming into this fight, he had the confidence of 5 world champions coming into this. As the fight continued on, for the first time, I saw a hiccup in that confidence. Well, I saw a little bit of worry for the first time on Joe Elmore's face, because he saw somebody that wasn't backing down. That was not backing down. Not at all. He may have been knocked down, but every time he got knocked down, he came back stronger. I
don't know what the exact feeling was in the arena, but I know as we were watching live on the BKTV app, which you can download if you use our link, you can get it for $3.99 a month. Take advantage of that offer. Anyways, the feeling that we were getting was that, I realize the knockdowns are a lot of points and it weighs a lot on the judges' scorecard. I get that. But I don't know. I don't want to say ever, but how often is it that I get it. I get Tom was knocked down 4 times, but to me, I thought Tom dealt out the most damage in the fight. How often is it that the guy who deals the most damage loses the fight? And I get it. It's tricky.
That happens more often than you would think. That happens more often than what you would think. I mean, who's another good example of that? Look at Thug Rose.
Mm.
I mean, her face was all messed up. Look at Tiago. Tiago was definitely more messed up than Julian Lane.
I thought, to be perfectly fair, I know,
but Julian won that fight. You feel that Julian won that fight. And it was so fucking razor thin in the margin when they gave me that. In fact, that was one of those. That was definitely one of those decisions when I showed it to a couple people, and the response was, "Really, really, huh?"
Jeff, help me out here. And I can't remember if this was for Tom's fight, because I'm mixed up now, because that's what happens to me, or if this was the Julian.
Invariably,
don't say anything. No comment. I don't need a comment.
Well, you don't need it, but I'm going to give it to you.
Or if it was the Julian Lane Thiago Alves fight. Did one of the judges give Thiago all 5 rounds? Was that right? Was that fight that you can remember? Because I think it was something really weird.
No. That was the Tom Show Joe.
That was the Tom Show fight where they gave Joe all 5 rounds.
Yeah, nobody gave that one all 5 rounds. No way. Okay. No way.
Because I know one of them was really weird, and it was really. I mean, even still, I think that's off. But
no, I understand that, but no, that was too close to give one fighter all 5 rounds. No way.
Yeah.
No way. In fact, actually, if that had happened, that would be under major scrutiny right now, and it would have been talked about so much more on so many different social media sites and media reporting sites. That would have been out there. That would have been something like an Adelaide Bird judging incident in boxing, if you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, probably one of the most controversial judges in the history of professional boxing out of Las Vegas judges, Adelaide Bird, who has been under crazy scrutiny under judging very, very high profile prize fights.
Yeah.
But no. It was during the Show and Elmore fight, that one. Well, let's go ahead and let's start it off from the top. Our first 2 fights were on. Thank you very much for that, giving me the Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
It's more of a Larry Zbyszko.
Oh yeah. That's right. No. You are correct.
I mean, Hunter did kind of do it, but it was more like a bow.
No, it was more of the bow, but no. Larry Zbyszko did that at the top of every Nitro broadcast. So you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. You're absolutely right. I know when I'm wrong, and it's not that often, but I am wrong. Okay, so the first 2 fights, which almost didn't happen. As a matter of fact, we had one fight that was getting ready to drop off, but thankfully it didn't, and we ended up saving that fight for the first 2 fights on the official YouTube page. And our first fight, of course, was Jacob Brunel and Rusty Crowder, who started us off. Was
that why there was a delay?
Huh?
Because you guys were it was scheduled to start at 8. But you guys didn't start till like 8:20 or 8:30 or something.
No. What happened is that we were originally supposed to start at 8 o'clock, but we had been pushed back through production standards, so that we were finally told that we had an on air on the free show at 8:20.
Okay,
at 8:20. No. That's okay. I mean, I have to roll with the punches, no pun intended, when it comes to production matters. So, most of the time I don't even know what the hell's going on. They kind of drop it on me last minute, but that's what you do. You adapt. But anyway,
I always have like a list of questions. I know, because I know we'll do a show after we watch a bare knuckle show,
of course,
especially if it's something like behind the scenes, not something not so obvious. I'll be like, oh, let me ask Jeff about that.
I'm the best. Sometimes I'm the best person to ask, and sometimes I'm not. Oh, Justin, you said you got those shots that no one else in the venue got. I want those. I want you to send me those, man. I always like a good shot. It might be a bad shot with my fat ass and everything like that, but I'm fine with that. It's all right. But anyway,
Justin, send them to me first. Send them to me first.
Justin, if you send them seriously,
nothing will happen.
Are you kidding? It'll end up being like the results of not sending out a chain letter. It'll fuck your shit up, Justin. Don't do it.
Nothing will happen. Don't worry.
Do not listen to this man to my left over here. He is a fertilizer salesman. He might as well be a televangelist. But anyway, can I get back to my fucking point, please?
I'm not stopping you.
You've been doing nothing but trying to distract me. You may not stopping me, but you are certainly fucking distracting me. Anyway, the first fight, Jacob Brunel, Rusty Crowder. Rusty did a fantastic job on this. There was a little bit of running at the beginning. I started to say to myself, man, Rusty,
not again.
Yeah. You got nailed by this once. You certainly don't want to do it again. And then Jacob really started engaging him, and then Rusty started engaging back.
He kind of forced him. He forced him to fight.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, that's another factor of why I love bare knuckle fighting so much, is because when you have someone that statistically likes to jump on their bike, if you put them in a nasty situation, which Jacob continually did, he continually moved forward. You force the guy to say, you know what? Why am I backing up? Why am I retreating? I should be moving forward. And that's what he did.
Hey, and I loved I think Rusty,
and he did some damage.
Well, at 145, which is what this fight was at, and I don't know if people remember this one. Rusty
it wasn't. Yes,
it was.
It was 155. It was 155.
Well, that's not what the commentators were saying. Saying it was 145.
Well, I'm not going to say that they're wrong, but it was 155.
So he fought 20 pounds up?
No.
Yeah, because Rusty was in the 135-pound tournament. You're saying this was at 155? Are you sure about that?
I'm double checking. Jesus Christ. Keep your panties on.
Hey, they're on.
No, apparently not. You're getting ready to throw them. You're getting ready to throw them through the fucking window. Give me a minute.
They're on, ready to be peeled off.
I said,
Jeff.
Give me a minute. Damn it.
Ready to be peeled off.
All right, it was 145. But what the fuck do you know?
Thank you. Apparently,
thank you.
Apparently, I know that it was 145. That's what I know.
Apparently, you think you know shit.
That's all right.
That's all right. But anyway, fantastic way to start off the broadcast. The once again, Rowdy. It
was a great fight.
Rowdy Rusty Crowder, he started bringing the noise. He started moving forward, and I am not worried about that decrepit piece of shit down here in the comments section. Let him go ahead. Would be that and still. Okay, Mr. Scott fucking Burt. You're still calling yourself the shoe fucking champion? No, Josh, seriously. He's going to go ahead and put himself out there. He comes into BKFC 12 with all this fucking shoe hype. And all he's got is checkerboards on his fucking shoes. It's a checkerboard pattern with patent tuxedo shoe leather on the back. Oh, Scott, I forgot.
Scott, I just want to say thank you for the bonus.
And there you go. Right. And
I appreciate the bonus that you gave me, Scott. I just want to say that it was a pleasure doing business with you.
Isn't it funny how your bonus is like folded exactly like your wallet is? That's not exactly fresh sponsorship money.
I kept it in my pocket. He sent it to me.
What? I saw $32 there. Big fucking spender.
It's not $32. It's more than that, buddy. Scott's not cheap.
Apparently, according to his shoes, he's nothing but cheap.
Scott's not cheap. Thank you, Scott.
Please. He comes out there with fucking checkerboards on his.
I just want to say too.
No. You're not going to interrupt me on this one. I got a tirade, and I'm going to continue to do my fucking tirade. And I'm too tired to banter with second place Jeff. Let me tell you something, Scott. You didn't win shit, and neither did I. We actually had a shoe champion that night, and it sure as fuck wasn't you. It was not. In fact, it was, and I'm very happy to say, it was Danny Faria. It was actually Danny Faria that ended up becoming our shoe champion because she showed up in beautiful stiletto heels that were completely covered in spikes. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, make it rain with your singles. Where you going? A fucking strip club? It's not impressive. You can't even see it. Oh, wow. I'm dropping a little George Washington. I'm somebody. Woo-hoo. Nope. Danny was the shoe champion of BKFC 12. She put us all to shame with spike stilettos with spikes all over them. she beat the shit out of you, old man. She even beat the shit out of me, and I'll be happy to say it. She stepped up her shoe game, and she was declared the queen of the night when it comes to her shoe choice, as opposed to your old man fucking shit. Danny won the female belt. There is no female belt, old man. Okay, we don't recognize that. It's shoe champion, not male shoe champion, not female shoe champion, shoe champion. So do yourself a favor. You have Christine's address. Overnight the belt to her, okay? Because all that's doing is keeping your pants up when you're sitting at home on your plastic-covered couch, drinking your fucking Ensures and wondering if you got to tighten up your diaper before you got to go to fucking bed.
He is upset, Scott. Look what you did, Scott.
I'm not upset. I'm just trying. And everybody was saying they even loved his shoes. I'm like, what happened? Did I wake up in some kind of different alternate universe where people have no taste in shoes and they're on Scott Burt's bandwagon? Where am I? Fuck. I have no fucking clue where I am anymore. It's like Bizarro World. Jesus Christ. You people, you need to open your fucking eyes. My eyes are wide open, and I see the not-so-glory of the coming of the lark. Okay? And the lark's name is Scott Burt. Scott, do yourself a favor and go bury all of your shoes in the mausoleum that you bought yourself. I feel so much better. It's like it's always better to get that out of the way because, you really have to sell the rivalry. And he refuses to sell the rivalry. That's why he continually loses and loses and loses. He's no shoe champion. He is no shoe champion. In fact, Scott, do yourself a favor. Come to the next show barefoot. It'll be better. It'll be better if you just come fucking barefoot because then they'll be able to see how fucking nasty ass gross your feet are with all that fucking, athlete's foot. I mean, you're so fucking old. Your toenails are probably cracking. They're bleeding and such. And, you'll be able to give people a better show showing your ancient, decrepit feet than those jokes that you call fucking shoes. Yeah, stop. Do you know why? Do you know why we had more views? It's because I am the one doing all the shooting. All you're doing is just standing there with a big-ass fucking shield. You're just standing there with a big-ass fucking shield and letting all those bullets collect in the shield. Go home on your fucking shield, burn your shoes, and get a clue. I know. Speak the truth, Josh. Shut up, Scott.
Jake the Snake Roberts once said, if you speak softly, you speak soft enough, and it's powerful enough, people will listen.
Yeah, maybe back in the 80s or the 90s. Look how loud I'm fucking dressed. I'm a Caucasian man wearing a Kangol hat and multi-print shirt. There is nothing quiet about me, and the last thing that I'm going to fucking do is try to speak. What a dick! What a dick! What a dick! You bastard! You started this. You lit the fuse. What the? Let me ask you something. No, hold on, Scott. What the fuck do you think? What the fuck do you think is going to happen to a stick of dynamite if you light it? It's not just going to sit there and smile at you and say, "Oops, practical joke, April Fools." It's going to blow up in your fucking face.
What if it's a dud?
It's not a dud. Oh. I'm not that old yet.
All right. Well, speaking of your shirt, what type of shirt is it this week? What is it?
I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a little bit of everything. It is versatility. It is all about Zoolander versatility. Please do not call me Dynamite because, Travis, there's already a ring announcer out there that his nickname is Dynamite. And I am so much more than Dynamite. I am a fucking atom bomb. I am a nuclear explosion. And Scott Burt would say, yeah, you want to be a nuclear explosion all over my face. Ugh.
Guys, welcome to Loudmouth Fisticuffs. Let's
where nothing is taboo. Nothing is taboo. All right, back on track. The old man.
Nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits.
The old man pushed my buttons. He knows how to do that, and it gets a good rise out of me, but it makes for entertaining fucking television. So I'm certainly happy about that. So no problem there. No problem whatsoever.
What is that? Oh,
that
dynamite. It's a stick of dynamite. Okay.
That's not a stick. That's a square of dynamite.
Look, you done gone and made Scott mad.
Huh?
You done made Scott mad.
Let me think. Let me quote one of my favorite lines from Step Brothers.
Shame on you.
I don't give a fuck.
He's upset tonight. Oh my God.
All right, here we go. All right, so Rusty Crowder walking on with the W. Good stuff right there. Moving on to fight number 2, which I think we have another star in the making if he can continue this kind of pressure on his future opponents. And I'm talking about King Keemon Evans, who came out of fucking nowhere against Robert Washington.
Nasty.
Well, what it was.
No.
It was nasty. And it was pretty, too. It was a great straight shot.
He had that walk off and was like...
But he walked right into it. I mean, it's almost like that. It's almost like that there was it was magnetized. It was just pulled right into his punch. It was so pretty. But he was, I'll tell you, Robert Washington was giving away a lot of height. I had not seen Keemon Evans before. Keemon Evans is like 6'5", 6'6". I didn't know he was that tall.
Right.
I didn't know. I didn't know much about him other than the fact that I do know that he had an undefeated boxing record at 5-0. Young kid, real tall, real lanky. Didn't exactly know what to think of him. Robert Washington, he's had 4 professional fights across, combat sports, various combat sports. Plus, he's also a very well-respected MMA instructor on top of that, MMA coach. But coming into that was I was really expecting, because Robert Washington ended up becoming a guy who was good on, you know what? Scott, stop fucking, texting him off camera. If you've got something to fucking say, get on here, grow some hair on your goddamn peaches, and say it in front of everybody. Okay? Stop being a little pussy.
I just had an anonymous donor.
Sure you did. Yeah, I like your little wink over there, man. I think you're developing Bell's palsy on that side. You might want to get that looked at.
We had an anonymous donor.
No, but Keemon, very impressive. I hope that this is not another situation that we're seeing as we saw in the Hillbilly Hammer Sam Shoemaker. Now, it wasn't as fast, but it was an impactful first fight knockout.
He set a really high bar.
Yeah, he did.
Right out the gate.
He set the bar very fucking high. So it's going to be very interesting to see if he can keep that moving forward. I really hope he can, because I think that this kid has got a future with bare knuckle if he continues to fight this way.
I agree.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely. So, fantastic. 2 fights, actually, it's a shame that those weren't, on the BKTV app. It really is, because they were fantastic.
They were really good.
They were really good.
I mean, honestly, there wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I know sometimes people say this, and it might seem cliche, but there really wasn't a bad fight on the card. I mean, there really wasn't.
No, there really wasn't. And I know it's easy for you to say that is cliche.
Right.
But in this circumstance, you're 100% right, because it really was one of the best. And I know that sounds cliche as well, because we've said that how many times now, that this was the best fight card. But I truly believe that BKFC 12 was the best overall fight card moving forward. I really do. I really think it was fantastic. Now we move on to the first fight of the night on the BKTV app, which of course was our boy watching Josh Boudreau taking on Jared Grant. Jared Grant, this was his first professional fight ever. This was actually his first professional fight ever. He had an impressive amateur background, but this was actually his first fight ever. And I think he did fantastic about it. And what I liked from Josh, dude, I got to tell you, man, Josh, the one thing that I can definitely give you props on, like I said, win, lose, or draw, man, you know how to weather the storm. When somebody comes at you with punches and bunches, not everybody can be that cool under pressure. Whether it's a win, whether it's loss, it doesn't fucking matter. What does matter is, and again, yes, 4 days fucking notice. And he gives all props to his opponent. Now, that's a true professional right there who is appreciative and grateful for the opportunities that he has. So that's why
I mean, to be fair, can you even really say 4? Because how much time did he spend?
Honestly,
he had
honestly,
he had to do medicals.
So let's say 3. Let's give him an optimistic. Let's give him an optimistic 3. Okay, an optimistic 3 freaking days.
I mean, I think it's fair because
just imagine if he had a full camp.
Yeah,
that would have been a very, very different fight against that. But you know something, and I know how there are certain people out there, especially all those wonderful chat forum. What do I like to call? Oh, I like to call them fucktards because that's exactly what they are. All these little chat room fucktards.
The keyboard warriors.
Yeah, the keyboard warriors sitting on your biscuit, never having to fucking risk it. The fucktards that like to go ahead and say that, somebody's no longer should be doing this, or, why does he continue on this way? And I'll tell you why Josh continues on this way, because Josh believes in the opportunity and he believes in the product. Yeah. And he's going to continue to come back no matter how many times he may kiss canvas, no matter how many times the W may elude him, because you know what, Josh? You're going to get that. It's going to come your way, and it's going to kick ass when it does, because that's going to set you in motion. And that's what a lot of these fucktards really don't understand, is that all it takes is a really good win to set everything in motion moving forward for a successful career. Yeah. And it's only a matter of time. So, like I said, Josh, you weathered the fucking storm. You walked out of there with hardly a mark on you. Good on you, man. Win, lose, or draw, good on you.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Good on you.
Nothing but respect to you, brother.
Absolutely.
Nothing but respect.
Absolutely. And then we go on to, I had goosebumps when I was standing in the squared circle. And that doesn't happen that often, but I had goosebumps leading up to Tom Schoaf and Joel Elmore. And they had a nice little video package. You're very welcome. You're nothing but love your way, Joshua. Nothing but love your way, man. If I didn't, I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't be the kind of guy who would have that talk to you off to the side saying maybe you need to think about something else, because I know you got it in you, man. I know the Cajun Crippler is bare knuckle hard, and I'm not worried about it. I'm just waiting for your opportunity and a full fight camp for you to benefit from. And then you're back in the hunt. You're back in the hunt. So no, of course, nothing but love your way coming your way.
Before you start this, I do want to say too, again, I gave some high praise to the production team on 12 for the upgrades and all the improvements. The promo packages before the fights.
You like those? Did you like those?
Yes.
They did a really good job. They had to trim a lot of them down because there were quite a few lengthy 9/11 mentions.
Sure.
So unfortunately, before we go any further on that, I definitely want to give props to our El Jefe and our leader, Mr. David Feldman, for some very moving words at the beginning of the broadcast. The light show absolutely was epic. The lighting was superior to anything that we've ever. It was definitely an upgrade, 100%. But he had some very, very, very powerful words, and you can tell that David is he's one of the most patriotic Americans, that I've ever met as far as a fight promoter comes along. And, he had tears in his eyes, and, that doesn't happen that often. I still believe that his tear ducts, he probably punched them out at one point, because he didn't want to see, his opponent, in case he got a thumb in his eye, and, it's like, there's no crying coming out of there because I don't have any tear ducts, damn it. But, but definitely powerful words from our boss, from the BKFC boss. So, what a powerful way to start off the show in memory of the 9/11 tragedy. 19 years it's been already since that day. And
I was a senior in high school.
How old was I when that?
I was in school, and I remember I saw the second plane crash live when it happened, the second one, and like it was like watching a fucking movie. I remember like seeing it happen, and I was like, "What?"
I was 23, if I remember. Yeah, I was 23 years old when that. And I remember it was a late night, and I was just waking up, and I had like 1 million missed calls between, I think, like less than like 40 minutes. And as soon as I wake up, my best friend calls, switch on the news. And at first, I thought that maybe I was watching a movie, like a scene out of a fucking movie. But I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is really happening.
It was so real. It still is. It still is surreal.
To look at the footage, it's beyond surreal. It really is, man. But no, beautiful words to start off the show. Beautiful patriotic words. And then we lead up to the fight of the night, and the most well-deserved fight of the night that I have seen in quite some time, between Tom Schoaf and Joe Elmore. And I knew that we were going to see fireworks, and I knew that Joe was just going to come out with this barrage of unrelenting power. And that's exactly what happened. But what we also saw was just something that I think, honestly, personally, Josh, I think is just as beautiful. Watching Tom not only weather the storm, but get better. It's not the first time that we've seen this too from Tom.
No, it's you know, I had the conversation with him, and I've had it before, like with the Julian Lane fight. I think if maybe there were a couple more rounds of that fight, he probably would end up winning the fight. I think Tom is one of those guys. He the longer the fight goes on, the better he gets, because his pressure and his punches, like, they're just stabbing.
Well, he wakes up. He wakes up.
Yeah, he wakes up at a certain big time.
And that also has a lot to say about his training and conditioning, because not everybody can move forward the way that he does after getting hit like that.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, it just zaps all your fucking strength, and then you go out there on rubber legs. But all it does, I mean, it's almost like the minute that he takes his blood, he's like fucking Bruce Lee.
You know, and again, this is props to both these guys. It's the reason why they got fight of the night amongst such a great card, you know, because that's not easy. You know, with Joe, you know, dealing with that kind of pressure from somebody like Tom, getting cut up like he did, you know, having it was close to being stopped a couple times from the doctor, because those cuts were getting pretty bad. And, you know, the entire time he's like, just let me go, doc, let me go. Let me fucking fight. And
at least 2 times I thought they were going to wave that off. I was waiting. I was right over there. I was on that same side of the ring, and I was looking to my right, and I was just waiting for the doctor to shake his head no. It was almost like I was anticipating. I'm like, he's got to shake his head no after this. He's coming over there. That blood is pouring right into his eye.
Yeah.
Nope.
Let me I'll tell you what. I'd like to get someone else's opinion on this fight, Jeff.
Oh God. What?
Hold on just a second.
Could you get somebody else?
I just want to get someone else's opinion.
No.
Mr. Scott Burt.
Look at that crap. Look at that crap. Look at that crap. You want to talk about Salvation Army? Look at that.
These are called my.
Look at that.
These are called my checkmate shoes.
Yeah. More like a
Mr. Bird. I just want to say we do appreciate your donation to the podcast.
You appreciate it. You appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Do not stop saying we. Stop saying we.
We appreciate it.
No, we don't.
Before I comment on the fight,
Josh,
I was just wondering who your sponsor is for tonight.
Oh, gee. Let me think. Nobody.
Well,
look at the ticker there, man. Just went from 6 to 18 again on views.
Yeah, you know, due to the wonderful donation on behalf of Mr. Scott Burt, on behalf of the Police Gazette Boxing Corporation and the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame, we just want to say we appreciate it so much. Go check them out. Mr. Scott
Ladies
Burt.
and gentlemen, I have only 3 words to respond to what he just said. It's a work.
In progress when we talk about your hat.
No,
is this a work? Is that a work?
What, $1 fucking $? Damn right, that's a work.
that's more than $1, buddy. Is that a work? That's not a work.
All right, excuse me, $4.
More than that.
$4.
You got
like I said.
Apparently you're very generous. Apparently your very generous sponsor
Scott's
allowed.
very generous.
Apparently your very generous sponsor has just allowed you to get a large latte at fucking Starbucks.
Well, first off,
how many sponsors have you brought in, Houston?
I'm not bringing in sponsors. I'm bringing in laughs.
First off, this is just the side tip money for me doing so well in the show. This isn't the main sponsor money. This is just the side.
Seriously, man. What the fuck do I do to you that you have to bring this hell down on me?
What do you mean?
Oh,
what do you mean? Are you serious?
One of the perks of making such a large donation is you actually get to come on the show with us. That's just one of the perks that we have.
Sure.
It's in the writing.
Large donation. Yeah, I'm going to tell you.
It's in the contract. It's in the contract that me and Mr. Burt signed.
I love how the contract is a blank sheet of paper held at only one angle.
Jeff, you know what,
Jeff?
Jeff?
Did you tell him?
You're like a half glass empty kind of guy. I don't know what's going on. You're always half glass empty.
Yeah, and you're like a fucking magician, man. All you are is an illusion.
Hey,
it happened like last time when Houston just shut up for 15 seconds.
That's not happening today. That's not happening today.
Josh, you tell him it's a $200 sponsorship.
Yeah.
I get a quarterback for every view that comes in. That's why you only got $4.
$200
sponsorship. Hey, and you know what? That's money well spent, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, you do say so yourself.
That's That's money well spent, sir.
Yeah,
it's a work, ladies and gentlemen. It is smoke and mirrors. It is not genuine.
All right.
I like the Scott and Josh show better, but
yeah, you would. Yeah, you would, because Josh is real good at puckering up and kissing your ass.
You know what's really cool?
Hey, it's just business, Jeff. It's just business,
right
Jeff.
there in the reflection. Hi, Scott. Look right in Houston's glasses.
It's just business.
Yeah.
There is nothing but the only reflection in my glasses is nothing but the hatred for your shoe game
and envy.
No, there ain't no green here. There's no green here. Oh, but Josh,
all the green is in Josh's pocket.
Let me drop
all the green's in his pocket.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. The only green that's in his pocket is friggin' scum.
You know, since you like that hat so much, I took up a collection to buy you a real leather one instead of that.
It is a real leather hat, you douche.
You know, you're right though, Josh. I Googled it, and there's pictures of Michael Jordan wearing it all over the place.
Yeah, I showed him that. I showed Jeff that, and he still denied it.
Are we really going back to that again? Do you guys not understand the term fresh material?
We can't. I'd like to know.
I'd love to.
Hey,
no,
Jeff.
we don't care what you think about the fight.
You can't run me under the bus here because I can respond.
Jeff, do you understand the term business agreement, Jeff?
No, I understand a loose leaf college rule paper that's made to look like a fucking contract. That's what I understand.
You don't know shit about college.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I have 2 semesters of college under my belt. Thank you very much.
First off, Jeff, do you have one of these?
No, baby.
I do.
Baby. He doesn't have one of them.
I got one.
Why would I want one of those?
I got one.
I can't give. I was good.
Why would I want one of those? This is bare knuckle, not that pussy ass MMA. Come on.
I wanted to give one to Houston, but all he wanted to do was drop his pants and use it on himself.
Oh my Lord.
That's all you've got?
Jeff.
That's all you've got? Stop throwing pebbles and start throwing some fucking rocks.
Jeff.
God.
There goes his voice, Josh. Up it goes.
There's no going of the voice.
He dropped it. There he dropped it. Well, on a different note, those were awesome fights. And you know that Elmore Tom fight, that was just amazing.
Man, did you see Joe afterwards? Oof.
Oh,
man.
I posted today. He had a video of wearing the
Well, he looks better today. He looks much better today.
Ribbon was it was saturated with blood, which I bet they kind of love to have though.
Oh God, are you kidding? That gives it that much more character.
Oh yeah, just saturated.
No, I think I'd appreciate that medal that much more. Knowing because you want to talk about a medal that you fucking earned that's covered in your own blood.
That's right. Oh,
it doesn't get much more earned than that.
You know, and just like that video Jeff was just like Sullivan and Kilrain. after they had their huge match there.
Oh God,
they
were
became
so
best of friends. Best of friends. In fact, when he went on his second honeymoon, he took Jake Kilrain and his wife with him when they were older, and they went on a cruise. And then, of course, Kilrain was one of his pallbearers, just like you will be for me.
Reggie, you're asking what's wrong with us? Everything. This is Loudmouth Fisticuffs. You have got Josh, you've got Jeff, and you've got the old man.
Hey, well, I'll take it.
I know you will.
Above ground, I'm good.
There you go. Well, you don't have to worry about being below ground. You own your own fucking mausoleum.
I almost was below ground Saturday night, though. Thanks to Reggie for making sure I was safe. Thank you, Reggie.
What you go out driving again?
Yeah,
you shouldn't be.
Yeah. After 9 o'clock, it was dark. I couldn't see above the steering wheel.
See, I could have said something, but you just fired the shot for me. I appreciate that.
I told my wife the other day, when I can have Josh throw his head back and laugh, I've done something for the day. And there I go. I feel like I've done my duty, made him laugh.
That's right.
Josh, you just love placating everybody's ego, don't you?
Not you.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You just do it in a different way. You do it in a different way.
Truth.
No, sir. You are like the media. You focus on the narrative and not the truth.
Why are you so jealous, Jeff?
I'm not. What do I have to be jealous about? I've got a beautiful hat. I've got beautiful shirts.
You know what?
I've got my own fucking recording studio. What the fuck do I have to be jelly about?
Mr. Burt is taking time out of his busy schedule to come on here.
Well, that's all he's got. Well, he doesn't have that much more time.
Mind you.
He doesn't have that much. I've got more time than he does.
Mind you. I hate to tell you this. I didn't want to say this, Josh.
I know you didn't.
I didn't want to say this, but I got it. I know. I got to say this.
I understand.
When I came home and people saw what was on TV and they loved it. They thought it was great.
Yeah.
My 86-year-old mother-in-law, who watches the fights diligently and pays attention to that, Jeff Houston, called him by name today, said, that Jeff Houston, he's a sharp dresser. Did he borrow your suit? You got one just like that.
Wow. It's time for I'm sorry, it's time for her to get an upgrade on her friggin' prescriptions.
She said, why does he just, she did say, why does he just wear black shoes? I said, you got to look a little closer. He just doesn't know how the TV looks, what to wear on TV.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Josh. I didn't want to bring it up.
Like I said, I feel like he's Biff Tannen. He's driving into a truck full of shit.
We know Jeff spirals down quickly.
There's no spiral. I've got nowhere to go but up. I've got nowhere to go but up.
I just don't understand, Scott. Why can't he just play the game? And, again, with
because you guys set the rules, right? Because you guys set the rules of the game, right? You're saying play the game.
Listen, Jeff, it's strictly business.
Scott, conform.
Scott,
I don't work that way.
Very intelligent businessman.
That's right.
Not with me.
I myself, I appreciate Scott's, Scott's generosity.
His generosity towards your freaking Starbucks coffee fund.
I feel bad for
more
Jeff
than that.
Because 5 people, Josh, came up to me during the fight and said, "Is Houston even trying?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
They did. I said
5 people like in a beautiful mind. You probably imagine them all up. You're talking to yourself over there, friggin' John Nash style. I don't think so. I don't think so. Are you kidding? I was a fashionista. I was a czar that night. I had brought it out in full fashion. Are you kidding?
You borrowed my sequence sport coat.
Sequence? Mine wasn't even sequence. It was Victorian print. Jesus Christ. If you're going to go ahead and call me out, on my fashion, at least get it right, old man.
That's right. Victorian goes with your Victorian secret pants.
Yeah, Victorian thing. God. Somebody to my right got off the short bus today.
Oh, man. Well,
gentlemen, we're having too much fun. Can we please move on to the next fight of the card?
Now that I have increased your viewership.
You haven't done shit.
Like last show where it was your #1 show of all time.
Yes, sir.
And now I've got
yes, because of me. Thank you very much. And Josh, you had nothing to do with it. You had nothing to do with it.
Get out so you can continue talking about the fighters.
You were incidental, good sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
You're right. But Josh, who's sponsoring the show tonight?
Not
Absolutely.
you. Not you.
Is that Boxing Corporation and Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame, Mr. Scott Burt.
Yeah,
and
baby.
Mr. Scott, we'll get on that business call tomorrow, okay?
Yeah.
Shut up, Josh. You know I love you, Scott.
Love you guys. Take care.
All right, good night, buddy. Oh my God. I've never seen shit coming out of a human being's ears, but it's actually happening to you. And you're wearing headphones on top of that. What the fuck?
Which, by the way, I just bought these. These are new to my setup as well.
You look like you got tits on your ears.
That doesn't even make sense.
It looks like you got a pair of egg cups on your fucking head.
These are really nice. Let me tell you what. These are super comfortable. The leather is nice and supple. And it's soft.
See, I even said tits and you said supple. Woo! Proving my point once again.
Hey,
egg cup titties on my ears. Thank you, Mr. Egg Cups.
I don't get it, but let's go down the line, Jeff. We got Josh Dyer's defeat Jared Warren via TKO at 1 minute.
Which was surprising.
Which number 4.
Which was very. I'm going to tell you, Josh Dyer. I don't know why I was surprised about Josh Dyer coming out with this Hellfire Storm because, he was 1-0. He was one of the very few that was involved with the World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation clusterfuck show. Yep. And Jared Warren had a very impressive first outing with Bare Knuckles. So this was another one that had 2 really tough opponents. But what do they call? Josh Dyer's nickname was D-Day. Ooh, did he bring it? Ooh, did he bring it, man? That guy's built like a goddamn Mack truck, man.
Yeah.
Big kid. Big fucking kid, man. And that one was very, very impressive because, like I said, Jared Warren's no fucking pushover.
Jared Warren's a thick dude. Like, he is he's a big like a fucking brick house. He really is.
I couldn't believe this was 185 pounds. They looked huge.
No, Jared, I would bet money he was every bit of 195.
Oh, God. I wouldn't be surprised if he was cracking 2. Absolutely.
Yeah, easy.
Fantastic first outing with BKFC with Josh D-Day Dyer, another guy that I very much look forward to seeing in the near future. I think that another guy who's got a lot of potential and another one who's going to be really making some waves.
I think so.
In BKFC. And then we move on to definitely one of the knockout of the night candidates. That's for damn sure.
It's between Lorenzo Hunt and Eric Lozano. It's between Lorenzo and Kimon.
I actually would like to give that. I believe that Lorenzo got that because I saw that pool of blood that accumulated for where Eric hit down, and it was pretty massive, man. In fact, it was one of those, ooh. And I have been in that squared circle now 12 fucking times, and I have seen blood accumulation in 12 fights like no other. I've never seen more bloodshed in that. Oh, no. I mean, and I've been, come on, Josh, 17 years. Yeah. Pro wrestling, pro boxing, mixed martial arts, grappling, kickboxing. I've seen it all. And it's kind of cool that I've seen it all in less than 20 years, which is pretty fucking badass. But then you get to bare knuckle, and that's where the true bloodshed of combat sports starts and finishes. And after you see a pool of blood like that, and the fight wasn't going too good. In fact, it was one of the first fights that started getting boos from the crowd because they weren't getting too into it. But all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, Lorenzo decides in round number 3. He was bringing it a little at the conclusion of round number 2, but round 3, he just decides to bring the noise. Lorenzo's one of those guys where I'm sorry to say, but when I see him fighting lackluster like that, he's one of those guys where you see so many people thinking to themselves, what the fuck are you waiting for? We know that you can unleash hell if you fucking want to with those hands.
Well, I think in the fight with Reggie Pena, he pulled the trigger quite early, and then he ended up gassing himself out. Now he still won the fight, but I think maybe there's a slight hesitation because
maybe he was feeling him out. Maybe it was more of a feel out process, because that's exactly what happened as we progress through the show, as we get to Christine's fight. That's exactly, in fact, actually Christine's fight, I called exactly. I actually called that a second round knockout, TKO. I actually called that 100%. I knew that was going to happen. We'll get to her in just a second, but I do believe that Lorenzo had a little bit more of a feel out process, and maybe that was the culprit right there, is that maybe that feel out process out of 2 rounds, and he decided, you know what? I've got the guy's pace. I'm ready to pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. He didn't burn himself out. He was walking around a little heavier, about 195, walking around.
Dude.
No, dude, Lorenzo's huge. Lorenzo's huge. But I don't know why they bill him at 6'3". He is no 6'3". Sorry, dude. You're not 6'3". No, he's 6'1.5", maybe 6'2".
Yeah, that's probably because he's.
Well, no, he's shorter than Sean Wheelock, and Sean Wheelock is 6'3".
I was gonna say, because like me and him are probably about the same height, because I've stood like right next to him.
Because you're what, 6'2"?
I'm like almost 6'2". I'm not quite 6'2".
I think that's where Lorenzo is about. He's right at that part to where he's just about 6'2".
Yeah.
That's I agree. Yeah. So I agree with that but no, and pulled that trigger and knocked fucking Eric Lozano into next fucking week.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, we had a nice little delay getting him back to his feet. That was some bloodshed that took place on that one. And that just again shows me how fucking ferocious this man is. I mean, seriously, Josh, this guy, I think eventually once he starts getting more and more fights under his belt, this is a man who actually could legitimately be feared.
Well, I think Lorenzo Hunt, if you watched his training videos and keep up with, some of these guys online.
Oh, he's a beast in his training.
I put Lorenzo Hunt in a slightly different category than the others because
we've got our own fucking Clubber Lang with I think Lorenzo Hunt, he reminds me of fucking Clubber Lang, man.
So like, not to say obviously everybody fucking trains and bust their ass. I'm not saying that, but like I just think like I would put Christine in that category. I would put Helen Peralta in that category. I would put Lorenzo Hunt in that category.
Animals, man.
Fucking, it's just something different. You know what I mean? Like it's just something fucking different when they train. It's like they can just taste it every fucking time they hit the punching bag. Every time, every rep, every fucking piece of weight that they move around. It's like they can envision what's going to happen. And I think once he kind of puts everything together, I don't think it's quite all put together just yet, but I think he's on the right track. I think once he kind of connects all those dots, the fucking, as just like it is in the comic books, man, I think the Juggernaut's going to be fucking unstoppable. I really do. I think eventually, if he can,
I don't know if he's going to be unstoppable because
I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
He's going to be a force, but it's too fucking early in the sport to say someone is unstoppable.
No, that's why I said once he puts everything together. I don't mean like right now,
but a force. He already is a force. What are you talking about? Yeah, he already is a force. He already is a force. But we've got to get more fights underneath him, and we've got to get we got to get him into some wars. And I think that once he has an opportunity to really have one of those wars from moment one to moment done, then we can see what is in the immediate future for the Juggernaut. But I think nothing but good things. I am such a huge fan of this.
I wouldn't mind seeing the rematch with him and Gustavo. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I mean,
I know what, that one needs to be run back because it was unfortunate circumstances.
Well, it was weird. Yeah, it was. I mean, Gustavo won, but it was weird.
But it was unfortunate. He won, but he didn't knock him out.
Right.
He won on. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. He won on a technicality.
Right.
And a technicality. It is a W, but it's not finished business.
Right.
It's not a TKO or a KO or a corner stoppage. That's finished business. That's finished fucking business. Okay. I'm sorry. Leaving up to the judges, not finished business. Doctor stoppage, not finished business. I look for the clear, decisive win. And to me, as a fight fan, KO, TKO, or corner stoppage. Those are the ones that I look for. Now, unfortunately, sometimes the injury is just too great to continue, and I understand that, but that's a technicality.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was when he got knocked down, and the ref was like talking to him, and he kind of like Lorenzo, like he was listening to his corner or something, like he wasn't really like focused in.
Well, that's the thing. That Lorenzo should always know that when you get knocked down, if you are not 100% in sync, or at least to a degree, with the referee is the only thing that should matter when you get knocked down, not your corner.
Sure.
Not your corner, because you have got to be able to prove to the referee that you are physically and mentally capable of continuing the fight. Listen to your fucking corner after the referee declares you competent to continue the fight.
Right.
Until then, don't listen to your fucking corner, because look what happens. His lip wasn't ripped off, but it was torn.
Well,
it wasn't ripped off, but it was torn pretty deep.
It was similar to the Alistair Overeem.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Similar. It wasn't that bad, but it was
but the injury type was similar. Yes.
Yeah.
The injury type was similar, but as far as the severity, oh no. Yeah. Alistair's tear was so much worse. But it was still pretty fucking bad, and it was bad enough for the doctor to stop the fight. It was bad. No, I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm not saying it wasn't bad, Howie. I'm saying that Alistair's was worse.
Yeah, I don't think like the lip injury was the reason for the stoppage. The reason for the stoppage was because
I think
when the ref was talking to him, he was kind of like,
no, I know he was in and out. He was kind of in and out, and I think that was a contributing factor. But I also know that, that was enough to actually get it stopped, especially when you have something that's literally torn from the fucking epidermal layer. And this was, it was, I know it was a close-up photo. It was that shit, man. Our boy got our how can I forget his fucking name? He's gonna fucking kill me that I forget his fucking name.
Phil?
You know what? Yeah, Phil. Yeah, Phil. Excuse me, Phil. Excuse me, Phil. Excuse me for that, Phil. I have a brain fart every now and then. I'm about to be 43 years old in December. I have moments of senility
all the time.
Not all the fucking time. Now I know why there's that love-hate relationship. You keep making it apparent each and every fucking time. So I totally get it now. But no. Still, fantastic knockout. Lorenzo Hunt moving forward with a big W. And then we move on to, I'm going to tell you, I wanted to give Callie Cutler all the credit in the world for coming there. But just something, there was just something there.
Well, you just kind of knew. You knew what was
there was, even though that you didn't want to admit it, because the last thing that you want to do is count anybody out before they've even had the opportunity to knuckle up.
Understood.
But there was, if you saw the confidence between the two, I mean, it would have been so visually apparent that Christine just had all the confidence in the world. And Christine did something I didn't think she was going to do. Christine played smart. She assessed the situation in the first round.
Yep.
And then, oh my God, not only did she put the pedal to the metal, she broke the fucking pedal off and got in there, knocked her down a couple of times, and it was just too much of a fisticuffs barrage for her to continue. And it was just so happy to see Christine back in there. And she had been wanting a fight. Come on, Josh, 13 fucking months since the last time that we saw her fight.
She was telling me, Christine was telling me that, during her camp and just since all she's been doing is like training with dudes, and fighting dudes the entire time, because I don't know if none of the other ladies want to spar with her.
Have you seen all the interviews that she did? Like the interview that she did with me? Every interview usually ends with her driving to her gym.
Yeah. All the fucking time. That's what I was saying. Like with her work ethic, let me tell you what. You can teach somebody to fight. You can teach somebody, how to throw a punch. You can teach somebody how to roll around.
But a work ethic like that, it has to be ingrained. It has to be something.
A work ethic is just, it's either in you or it really isn't. I mean, a lot of it, of course, your environment, how you're raised, blah, blah, blah. But it's either fucking in you or it's not. And I think that, like her, that's why I said it's nothing on Callie, because like you said, you don't want to count anyone out. But
Callie doesn't post every half hour a training video the way that Christine does.
Yeah. At the same time, I don't think that this is derogatory. I don't think it's a knock on anybody, but
it's not.
Some people are just on different levels, and I think right now, in her journey and her fight journey, wherever she's at, Christine is just on a different level, and it's not a knock on somebody else.
And I don't see her getting lazy. I really don't.
No,
I think she's one of those types of people. If she's not working hard, she's going to question everything. She's going to question her logic. She's going to question her outlook on life, on fighting, on everything. She is just one of those types that is just a hard working person. I think that once she gets a little bit more financially stable, because I know that, she has fought for peanuts at the beginning, and, she had complained about how hard she trains and such, and how the fact that she hasn't had the great paydays that she feels that she's earned. She's the kind of person that I believe that once she gets those paydays back to back to back to back, I could see her being like an entrepreneur. I could see her like totally, when she's done fighting, she's going to have to find something to preoccupy her time. And I could definitely see her being like a multi-business entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I could see her doing that because she has that kind of work ethic. But
I think, well, I won't say anything because I don't know if she wants me to say that, but I think it's in her sights.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But hats off to you, Christine. Fantastic job. So glad that you are back at it and kicking ass.
And hats off to you too, Callie, because I know.
Oh, welcome to BKFC. Thank you for that's a tough first fucking opponent to step into the squared circle with.
In that division, Callie, you literally drew the shortest straw, in my opinion, in that division. You drew the shortest straw. And the fact that, twice you were ready to, you were going through camp to fight twice and it didn't happen. And finally you got Christine, just hats off to you, man.
That is a tall drink of water for your first fight in.
Yeah. So nothing to be fucking down about. I hope you're not.
At all.
I don't think you are, but
I don't think so either.
Jesus.
And Christine broke her hand too. It was a hairline fracture. She said
she said 6 weeks or something.
She said 6 weeks.
Nothing crazy.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, everything fine there. Now moving on to another fight that really gave me some goosebumps because I saw some good shit talking at the weigh-in ceremonies, which was, of course, Reggie Barnett Jr. and Abdiel Velasquez. And both of these guys, notorious for their bare-knuckle exploits. Abby is a phenomenal fighter. But I just have to believe, as much as I love Abby, Reggie is just kind of a next-level athlete.
He's one of those. I would put him in that category, too. I mean, I know it's going to sound like I'm putting like everybody in there now.
But I'm not saying – the thing about it is it's not necessarily saying that the man is better. What I'm saying is that Reggie's game, I think, is a little bit more versatile than Abby's.
Sure.
And when you have a versatile game, you have an edge over somebody who may not have certain angles configured, which totally happens in bare knuckle, even at the pace that they're pushing it. You're telling me that this isn't geometrical? That they don't have angles configured, especially next level athletes? You better believe that they do. That's what makes them so goddamn versatile.
You know who said it? I thought summed it up very nicely, and it was Chris Lytle. And he was talking.
Wasn't he great?
He's awesome. He was talking about how
he's getting better and better
every show. Every show he gets better.
He's getting who he's starting to remind me of? It's kind of funny. He's starting to remind me of what's his name? Who fought he's starting to kind of remind me of Malignaggi on the mic. Because Malignaggi is very, very fight analytical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Chris is starting to kind of go down that same route where not only he's really able to be articulate with what he says, but his analyzing is getting that much more in depth because he's played the game. He's been in the squared circle. He knows. There. So he's getting better and better. Continue, please.
But yeah, like you were saying, like he's been in the mud, he's been in the grind. He knows exactly what it is. But what he said about Reggie was that Reggie has this rare ability to press forward and still be defensive kind of at the same time, meaning like he presses the action, presses forward, but then doesn't get hit, which
that's very rare. Like, that's very rare.
So like you have somebody like a, this might seem like an obvious thing, but say like, Floyd Mayweather. Okay. I'm just kind of making this example as in Floyd during the latter part of his career, probably for the last, at least 10 years, he's become a very, very defensive fighter. And he doesn't throw a whole lot of offense. He kind of picks his shots. He doesn't chase you. It's pop, move, pop, move, pop, move. Reggie fucking brings it to you and still is like, as he's hitting you, it's like he's slipping shit and moving in ways and angles that are so fucking, it's amazing to watch. I really love watching Reggie work. I really do. His skill it gets better and better each time. And I think him versus either Johnny or Dat, and it's coming because Dat and
you saw that there was a little exchange of words after the fight because Dat was over there ringside.
Yeah.
So as much as I understand the fight between Dat and Johnny makes sense, I'd much rather see a number one contendership fight between Dat and Reggie.
I would too. And to be perfectly honest,
because we got two boxers that have acclimatized themselves to bare knuckle fighting. That's going to make for a good fucking fight.
It's going to be interesting because I think Reggie can offer something, that pressure that he's going to put on Dat. It's going to make him backpedal, and we're going to see
but Johnny can do that too. Johnny's notorious.
Sure
Johnny is notorious for pushing the pressure. That's what he's known for.
Yes, he is. Which is why, he kind of, again, he drew Reggie into his game when they fought at BKFC 6. But anyways, no, I tell you what, I love watching Reggie work. I love watching Abby work.
They're both entertaining fighters.
They're both amazing. They're both entertaining. I think,
but I do believe Abby has to. I do believe Abby does have to go back to the drawing board a little bit on this because now he's rebounding from 2 losses. So I think that he's going to reconfigure some shit, and I think once he does, he's going to be another one that's going to come back. He may ask for a rematch. He may not. I still believe that he is in the running eventually for an eventual title shot, but I think he needs a big W at his next outing in order to solidify that he will be in title contention moving forward. I love Abby. I love his support staff. I love his coach. His father-in-law Viet Lee. He's got a great support staff. Got a lot of people in his fucking corner. A lot of great Floridians that are behind him 100%. So Abby, like I said, you might need to retool a little bit, man. But that happens. I can't tell you, man, I'm almost 43 years old. I can't tell you how many times I have retooled in my life. More times than I would like to. And here's the fucked up thing about it is
harder life.
The retooling process, it never stops.
No.
Just when you think that you got your shit down, something comes up to make you think, okay, back to the drawing board. It's always going to happen for you, man. So don't be discouraged about going back to the drawing board. But the best thing you can do is learn from your mistakes.
Yep.
Is learn from your mistakes and find. There's a really great quote. Me and how I love my quotes. I love a good quote. This is one of my favorites from Ernest Hemingway, and it's, "There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your previous self."
Very good.
And I think that that's what it's all about. It's always trying to find the better. And if you think that your better is best, think again.
Think again. Yeah.
Think again, man, because your best can always be improved upon. It just can. It just can. So think about that, Abby. Just get back to it. And I know that you're going to come back. And I feel very sorry for your next opponent. I really do.
Amen. Hector Lombard defeats Kendall Grove.
Wow.
Now,
this is the Hector Lombard that I wanted to see.
I agree. This is the Hector Lombard
I remember.
See the first time when he fought David Mundell. Now, granted, way different fight, but
but he knew he had more of an uphill battle because he knew that he was coming up against somebody with superior reach.
Let me tell you what. Nobody is ever happy to eat crow.
No.
Let me tell you something. I ate a whole bowl full of it because I've sat here multiple times over the last few weeks and have talked about, I think Kendall Grove has got this in the bag. He's going to keep Hector at range. Hector's short and stocky. He won't be able to get on the inside.
That did not happen.
Hector did exactly what he needed to do and did exactly what the opposite of what I said was going to happen. He got on the fucking inside. He made it dirty. And did what he had to do.
It was enthralling. It was
enthralling. Round 1 TKO at minute and 50. It
was enthralling. It was just, oh man, what a pleasure it was to watch that fight, man. Jeez, you got to remember, Hector's in his 40s.
Yeah.
And he's always had that knockout power, which we all know that he had. But man, talk about, I always say it, I've said it so many times, and I feel like a broken record. It's acclimatizing yourself to the way of bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah.
And I believe he did that more now than ever.
Well, maybe it just took him that first fight to
find his pace.
Right. Because like we always say, it's fucking different.
Well, you're not going to know your pace until you do it. You're not going to know your pace with bare knuckle until you fucking do it. You have to do it in order to understand it. You can sit from afar, analyze, conceptualize, tenderize, whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah, you can tenderize. I mean, I don't know how, but I'm sure it can be done. And it's not going to mean shit until you're in there and you realize that this sport has a 100% different pace than any other combat sport that there is.
Anything.
You cannot compare it to MMA. You cannot compare it to boxing. You just can't.
No, and especially, the long MMA, the MMA veteran that Hector is. I mean, Kendall too, but Kendall had the luxury of having two previous fights coming into this. So, he at least had that bare knuckle experience. But maybe it just took that one fight to kind of get that, like you said, get that pace down, because that is one of the biggest factors. You're going from 5-minute MMA rounds to 2 minute
to 2 minutes. That, well, Hector had to run him down.
Yeah,
that's what he had to do. He had to be the bulldozer. He was coming up against a much taller opponent with much greater range. He just had to be the fucking bulldozer and just run him over. And that's what happened. And that's what happened. Fucking 204-pound fucking bulldozer. Ran right over him, man. Just, oh man, I was so happy because that's the Hector Lombard that I wanted to see. And I think everybody else wanted to see that Hector Lombard as well. So I was just, I'm not gonna lie. It's not that I was worried or concerned.
Right.
I was just of the mind, is this the kind of performance that we are going to see like we saw with Dave Mundell? Are we going to see a guy who has knockout power but buys his time during his fights? Are we going to see that?
Yeah.
We did not see that. We saw a supremely crazy fucking confident bulldozer realize his bare knuckle fighting potential.
Right.
Ooh, good stuff. Oh, big surprise. It's kind of dropped on me over there that I did not expect. We now have a new number one contender for the BKFC World Heavyweight Championship. And I did not see this individual getting a title shot, but now that I see the contrast of styles and the potential that this fight has, it's getting me excited. I am talking about the new number one contender, Marcel fucking Swift Stamps. I did not see him as a potential number one contender as of yet, but here he is. And October 10th at the Tony's Pizza Event Center That is the name of.
I know. I looked it up,
of the venue. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, people.
The name is funny, but it's like a 10,000 seat arena.
No, it's a very decent. It's a very good looking. No, arena. It's in Salina, Kansas.
Yeah,
in Salina, Kansas, on October the 10th. Joey Beltran gets a dancing partner. It's not the dancing partner that we wanted. We wanted Mark Godbeer as his next immediate dancing partner, but the powers that be decided Marcel Stamps is ready to step up, and there it is for the BKFC Heavyweight Championship. And I also did verify, Josh, it will also be for the Police Gazette Diamond World Heavyweight Bare Knuckle Championship.
I assumed it would.
I didn't know if Scott, how he felt about Marcel immediately, but I talked to Joey about it, and Joey said, of course the Police Gazette's on the line. He's like, I'm going for broke, all or none.
Well, I won't lie. And I mean, I might, but not to you, Jeff. I'd never.
Oh yeah, you never fucking lied to me, like about this real lucrative sponsorship that you have between you and Mr. Scott Fertilizer Salesman Burt.
Don't ruin this for me, Jeff.
Don't ruin what? Your morning latte?
Don't ruin it for us.
Yeah,
I'll ruin it for us.
I don't give a fuck about your morning latte. Hey, what he's paying.
We're close to getting an LLC, okay? So don't ruin it for us.
What? Right? What an LLC? What, a line of lazy crap?
I forgot what I was going to say. No, I didn't. That's a lie. So I just lied. I'm sorry.
See?
So
pathological.
Marcel Stamps. I'm a big fan of Marcel Stamps, right?
Oh, I am too.
This fight, like you said, it confused me at first announcement. Let me see if I can be super clear about this. I like the fight in general. I just think it's odd that he's never fought a heavyweight, and now he's getting a world heavyweight title shot. I think it's strange. I don't quite understand. I mean, maybe the people that made the match way more adept to something than I am, which I'm sure it's the case. But
it's most assuredly the case.
So, but I still don't quite understand the pairing. I think it's going to be an amazing fight.
I don't think that you're supposed to understand the pairing. I think it's one of those out of left field matchups. But if knowing that Nate Shook is at the helm of the matchup, then you only know it's going to be good things to come, because Nate definitely talk about cutting your teeth when it comes to bare knuckle. Man knows. I mean, he's the most sought after matchmaker in bare knuckle history as of right now. Well,
here's, and I'll explain another reason too, Jeff, is here's my business logic behind this, right?
Business. I don't trust your fucking business logic.
Hear me out.
Shit.
Hear me out. So the match that everybody wanted to see, right, was Godbeer and Beltran. It's kind of been building for a while now. Like, I think there's a real genuine interest, not even just from the knuckleheads, the us, like, not even just from people like us, but like, I think there's a genuine interest from people, even maybe outside of the sport, that want to see this fight, Beltran and Godbeer. So I think that is the fight that's going to happen. Now, in comes this out of left field thing with Stamps and Beltran. What if Stamps goes in there and starches Beltran? I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm just saying, what if Stamps goes in there? Anything can happen. It's the fight game. He goes in there and starches Beltran. You could still do the fight with Godbeer and Joey, but what if you mess up? You could mess that up, the business side of it, because Stamps and Godbeer, it just doesn't have the same attraction value as Beltran Godbeer for all the marbles kind of thing. Right?
I think it can still be salvaged. I don't think it's completely unfixable if the worst were to happen. I still think that there is potential there, because Marcel has got one hell of an uphill battle, because he is coming up against a guy who is very, very, very tough to knock out.
And Marcel Stamps, he's a fucking killer, and this dude is I've talked to this dude several times, and his interviews always kind of leave me a little creeped out. He's talking about, like, you know, he wants to put people in fucking body bags and shit. Like, he's not kidding. Marcel Stamps is a scary individual. And he's not kidding. It's not a show. I don't think it's fucking kayfabe. I think it's like this dude.
Some people want to hurt people.
He enjoys hurting people. He's told me several times. I look forward to putting people in body bags. Okay, well, shit. We're good. I'm never crossing you, pal. We're good here. You know, and it'll be an entertaining fight. I'm just trying to think of the business side of it, and like I said, it's no.
I mean, it's not exactly like he can, because for example, he absolutely can, because, you know, the funny thing about it is that Marcel Stamps knocked out Kendall Grove.
Yes, he did.
But 5 years ago, Kendall Grove knocked out Joey Beltran.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he actually got a TKO in my neck of the woods down in the Rio Grande Valley. Well, that's not exactly my neck of the woods. That's South Texas. That's
UFC? What was that?
No, that was Bellator 143.
Huh.
That was Bellator 143, where Kendall Grove actually got the TKO over him in round number 3.
Was that heavyweight?
I believe so. Hold on. Let me double check on that one. Did they specify? You know what? They're not specifying.
I guess it doesn't really.
They're not specifying whether it was heavyweight or light heavyweight. But the point is that he can be knocked out. But that's an interesting duality there. You know, he got knocked out.
Very interesting.
He got knocked out by a guy who Marcel knocked out in bare knuckle.
Now, as we all know, fight math doesn't add up. But
no, it never does. It never
is
does.
Interesting. That is an interesting.
But it's an interesting fight fact. Is it 100% relative? You know, does it relate 100% to this sport? No, not 100%, not anymore, because Joey also has this incredible sense of confidence that he probably didn't have as much in Bellator, because in Bellator, even though that he is a seasoned MMA veteran, he was not at the top of the bill.
It's different now.
He right now is the number one heavyweight bare knuckle fighter on planet Earth right now. He is the number one. So there's a very different sense of confidence and determination under him. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, I know.
It's definitely different. It's definitely different.
And you can't 100% compare the two. So it's going to be interesting to see what they bring there. But it's proven right there. Marcel Stamps does have the knockout power for Joey Beltran. He does.
And last but not least, certainly not least.
Oh, God. I was so excited for this. And, boy, it lived up to it all. The remade fight, which originally was, of course, supposed to be Phil Baroni and Thiago Alves.
This was a way better fight. No offense to Phil Baroni. It's a way better fight than that would have been.
No offense to the New York Badass, but this was, was I excited when I saw this, and rightfully so, because look how well Julian Lane did. 10 days notice. No full camp.
It looked good too, man. Looked damn good.
Dude, Julian looked awesome.
I would have never known, honestly, had somebody not told me, I wouldn't have known it was a short camp.
He looked great.
He looked good.
Every time somewhere else to put muscle on, I swear. He got fucking Schwarzenegger peaks in his biceps, man. It's ridiculous.
He said he felt really good not having to cut 20 fucking pounds.
I'm gonna tell you, that's probably one of the factors that drove him forward, because, he wasn't exhausted by a ridiculous weight cut, which some people had over there. Because I know that Lorenzo had a big weight cut, and I know Joe Elmore, I think, had to go get some IV stuff done, because Joe, I think he said that he cut like almost 30 pounds in 10 days.
Wow.
Think about that, dude. Your body is not supposed to shed weight like that. Not like that.
No.
But yeah, definitely, Howie, I agree with you. Biggest I've ever seen Julian Lane at when he stepped in there. And they both look big. Dude, Tiago looked huge. He looked like
solid.
He looked like a fucking tank.
He was fucking solid.
And good back and forth, but boy, did Julian stick those shots in there and get him bleeding. Messing up Tiago's eye, and badly. But do I agree with the judge's decision? You know what? A lot of people would say that he was robbed. I can't say that because it was too...
I wouldn't call it a robbery.
It was too fucking close to call. It really was. It really was. But I'm going to be honest. After watching the fight, I would have judged it on the aggression. And I had Tiago moving forward a little bit more than Julian was. I had him just enough. But like I said, we're talking razor thin margins here, people. We are talking, and it was. It was. I even remember when I was standing over by the athletic commission's table, and I was talking to the assistant executive director, and I was saying I would not want to be a judge on this fight.
Yeah.
No fucking way. And I saw it, and it could have gone either way. I mean, it was just too fucking close to call.
Yeah.
And I can't say that Julian was robbed, because he wasn't. Nobody. It's too fucking close to be robbed. You guys have got to rethink your fight vernacular when you're talking about robbed. A robbery, when I see something, is when there's a clear-cut winner and then the other guy is given the W. That's a robbery. When you got something this fucking close, you can't say robbery, because it isn't.
Yeah, a lot. It is very overused.
It is, right? It's overused, and it's also used incorrectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if somebody ended up dominating a fight and the judges give it to the other guy, well, then obviously that's highway robbery. But when you got something that like a split decision that's this fucking thin, that's not a robbery. That's not a robbery. That's not a robbery, because it's not. It's incorrect vernacular. It's incorrect word usage. It just is. But I did have Tiago winning that by a very narrow margin because of the aggression factor. There were some aggression factors where I saw Tiago pushing the offense just a little bit more, but it wasn't that much more. That's why I'm saying it could have gone either way.
Yeah, he looked good. Julian looked good. He looked good. I'm hoping, to be perfectly honest, I wonder if Julian's going to stay at that weight.
You think he'll stay at 185?
He looked good.
I mean, I mean, it's not exactly like he looked like he was carrying around extra tonnage. No, I mean, he didn't look slow. He didn't look sluggish.
Nope.
He didn't burn out very fast at that weight.
He looked strong. He looked full.
By about that time, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like 195. He was probably about 195 by the time that he stepped in there.
You know what? To be honest, I think that Julian, he's a really stocky, muscular kind of guy too. So I think
he always has been. Even when he was in the Ultimate Fighter, man, he still was a stocky dude.
Yeah, I would. Shit, man. Obviously, I'm not him, but coming in at 185.
No, you're not.
Thank you, Jeff.
No, you look like you ate him.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. At 185, I would just come in 185, not even worry about cutting weight, because 185 is probably like a really good weight for him just in general. He probably doesn't need to cut, 185. I know that's the whole wrestler's mentality now. That's that's all in the MMA and now in the
for 185, he's about the right height for it too.
Yeah, I think he's a good build, a good height. Just
it was a good weight for Tiago as well. Tiago looked real solid too. Tiago he didn't look like that he was carrying around extra weight or huffing and puffing.
No,
dude. And I'm going to tell you, I was seeing the look on Tiago's face. There was like some kind of exuberant jubilation in his face when he was with BKFC. I just have to believe that he had a badass time. He looked like he looked like he was having fun.
Yeah.
He looked like he was having fun. That's what I saw.
The fight was over. Like, as soon as the fight was over, he kind of just let out this fucking just guttural, like
the roar.
Yeah, like holy shit, this was awesome.
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, but man, that cut over that left eye. Ooh, man,
it was nasty.
It was beyond nasty, man. And I mean, well, he had the cut. Oh, he had the gash over the eye. He had that terrible gash under the eye. It looked like a fucking piece of ripe fruit had been opened up, man.
Can we also talk about too? Can we talk about who I think was the MVP of the night? And I think you know where I'm going to go with this.
I already do, but yes, of course you may.
Is the new guy, that referee, Andrew, and I forget his last name.
Oh God, Andrew Glenn.
Andrew Glenn. Because
talk about stepping up. Because
Spinola had some testing went awry, and hopefully he's good.
Hopefully that was just a bad
just
test.
A false positive, and Wayne Spinola.
Because that can happen.
Don't know, he tested, and he immediately.
It didn't come out. It didn't come out too good. But however, as we all know, there's terrible biases in tests, and sometimes it can go awry. Hopefully, when he got home, he had an opportunity to get retested, and all was good. But if it's not, then prayers go out to you, man. Just one day at a time, Wayne. We certainly, and trust me, we missed you like crazy there. But unfortunately, and it can happen to anybody, and it's just such a shame that it had to happen to such a legend in our field.
Bill Clancy, who originally we thought it was a hamstring, but it's a calf muscle. He tore partial tear of his calf muscle right off the bone.
Oh, but good news that we just in the second
fight on the main card.
I know, and he had to be carried out. Underneath there, and they attended to him right away. Yeah, I mean, he was pissed off. I was talking to him in between fights. He was just, the true professional that he is. He was just more pissed off of the fact that this had to happen. That he was not in there to do his job. He said, "Fuck." He said, "Fuck my leg. I don't care about my leg. I care about not doing my job because that's what I'm here to do."
No, I can definitely see that. It was something else because, when the TV viewers were watching it. You never really see because it was in between rounds, and the camera's on the fighters, and next thing I know, Bill's not there.
I know,
and Andrew's there, and I'm like, it almost like fuck with me for a second because I'm like, was it Bill? Just
what? Well, didn't you hear what Sean Wheelock said? In all my years and all the thousands of fights that I did, I have never seen a referee replaced.
Yes, and that's what we had the volume kind of turned a little low because, like I said, it was me, Brian Maxwell, and Sheena.
Yeah, I remember.
And so, we kind of had the volume a little lower, but I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wasn't that just Bill? And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, it was just Bill. Bill was just in there. What the fuck just happened? And then, then of course we learned what happened, and that was the craziest shit I've ever seen. I've never even heard of that. Just like Sean Wheelock said, I've never. That has to be a first in the fight game. Period.
Oh, absolutely. But the good news is that no surgery is required for our good friend Mr. Bill Clancy. So it is just going to be hard rehab, which he's going to be starting immediately, he's going to be able to get checked out a couple of days prior to October the 10th to make sure that he is good to go for. For that. Plus, he also hunting season, deer season is coming up, and I know we all know what an accomplished hunter Bill Clancy is. So I know that he's got deer season coming up. So I'm gonna tell you something, Bill. Nothing but love to you, man. I mean, hey, this kind of shit could happen to anybody. Red line injury. Thank God that you do not have to have surgery to exacerbate it. It's just one of those things that you got to bust your ass in rehab, which we know you will, because every day out of the ring is a bad day, not only for us, but for the sport. So, so kick the shit out of that rehab and get back to BKFC 13 because we miss you, bro.
100%, man. And
but Andrew Glenn definitely stepped it up. And
let me tell you what, dude, MVP of the fucking night, and
he was fine, dude. He was fine. He wasn't tired. He wasn't anything. He said he absolutely understood his duty. Yeah. Once that happened, without question, didn't say anything, didn't bitch, didn't complain, not once. stood his fucking ground and said the show must go on.
We were joking around. We were like, yeah, if there's a performance of the night bonus, it should go to him.
It definitely should have gone to Andrew Glenn, man. Yeah, hats off to Andrew, man, for being the consummate, unbelievable professional that he is. Andrew's been in the business now. He's been a referee for over a decade now. So, I mean, he's no new hand to the world of fights, and definitely not a new hand to bare knuckle, as he's gone around the bare knuckle circle with us many times before. So, yeah, Andrew, thank you for stepping up, brother. I mean, when circumstances kind of went beyond our control with our good friend Bill.
Yeah, he pulled through though, man.
Dude, he did a fantastic job.
I was wondering, were you getting annoyed with because you had to keep announcing him every fight, and your referee?
No. I'm going to tell you something. There was actually more of a sense of pride. It really wasn't more. It was a sense of pride, because I was proud that Andrew was there to weather the storm, because unfortunately we didn't have Wayne, and we had no backup. Yeah. We had no backup for this. So no, I wasn't annoyed at all. I was actually very proud to have announced his name over and over and over again, because he earned, dude, seriously, he fucking earned that.
I'm about to say you will never forget his name as long as you live, I imagine. As long as you live, you'll never forget it.
It's ingrained now. It's ingrained. It's almost like if I ever have a kid.
And your referee? Andrew Glenn.
Dude, I'm going to tell you one thing. If I ever have a kid, his middle name will probably be Glenn. Shit. It's ingrained. It's ingrained.
It's a little weird.
Look who you're fucking talking to. Jesus Christ. When have I ever given you a sense of normalcy? Thank you.
There was that one time.
No. You're mistaken. Normal is boring. Why the fuck would I want to be like anybody else? I want to be me and me alone.
That is true. And I guess just to sum it up, Jeff, and we already kind of did, but yeah, the show is amazing. Can't wait for the next one.
BKFC 13, October 10th at the Tony's Pizza event. I'm 14, trying not 14, to.
14. 14. Right?
No. BKFC 13.
Did we just have?
This was 12. This was 12. No, this was 12. What? You are off, sir. BKFC 11. BKFC 12. The next one up will be BKFC 13.
I thought you said.
No, this was 12. This was 12.
You're right.
When am I not?
I mean, it's not like you weren't there, so
yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure, Jeff?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've been there for every single one.
Are you sure, Jeff?
I think I'm sure.
Can you imagine like how asinine that is for me to ask that question? I mean, like, it's funny to me because I can, joke about it.
I gotta tell you, you got some nuts to ask me that.
Are you sure?
You have not been at every show. You yourself, sir, have not been at every show. I have.
I've only been
including BKFC 9, which some people didn't think that I was going to make under the circumstances that I had. Speaking of which, Josh, it was kind of funny. I'm never one to give my critics the time of day, but I came across something the other day that was really fucking funny that I found on Reddit, and it just gave me such a chuckle. It was at BKFC 9 when I was prepping up the main event, and I said it's time to knuckle up. Apparently, somebody shot a video of me and caught me on my voice breaking when I said it's time to knuckle up. Because I had a prepubescent moment where it's almost like my voice changed and my balls dropped, or that's what it sounded like, I guess. Okay. And my voice cracked, and it's amazing all these little fucktards that were, going after me for that. And I never acknowledged the fucktards because, they don't know. Number one, they don't know. And even if there's a fucktard in there that thinks he's an announcer, chances are that person doesn't know what I was going through that night. Now, I'm not the one to give excuses, but that was a trying night for me as a professional. That was a tough night. That would be a tough night for any fucking professional to pretty much traverse halfway across the world in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Less than 24 hours from fucking Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah.
To fucking Biloxi. No downtime. I had to sleep on the plane a certain way so I wouldn't fuck up my hair, which I did. I got changed in the goddamn van on the way over. And I actually made it there on time to do the prelim. But they already had secured an announcer for the prelim. And of course, he was also secured to a degree that maybe wasn't going to make it. But the stars were in alignment that day for me getting there. And I'll be honest, as a professional, it was the most fatigued I've ever been at a show in my life. Now, I've done back-to-back shows within 24 hours.
Right.
But it's very rare that I do that kind of traveling and get to there. My buddy Sean Wheelock, another road warrior that can understand. He did, he's the kind of guy where he did Myanmar. And then
I was gonna say he was like in fucking China or something.
He was in fucking Myanmar and got over here.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we're still at the top of our game. But that's
Stitch
but I'm
too.
tell you,
Stitch was on that same card, and both of them came over here.
And a lot of us are in that same situation. So, if my voice cracked, I promise you, it was only fatigue. It was only fatigue. Oh no, I'm not worried about it. It's just the thing about it is, in certain situations like that, it's not that I even have to explain myself. It's just people don't know. And that's no. I say it's so easy to say fuck them, but my critics are. I love my fucking critics because they're the ones who always make me. Because I know if they're going to take all that time to put me under the bus, oh man, that's like fuel to my fire. I love it. I love my fucking critics. People say fuck your critics. I'm like, no, I hold them in the highest regard because they're the ones that keep me razor fucking sharp. So it's not so much that I feel that I have to explain myself. It's just like I said, Josh, usually the same situation about most critics is that they just don't know. And that's all there is to it. They just don't know. Put anybody else in that same position, and I guarantee you that motherfucker on the microphone would have sounded like a goddamn horse.
It probably would have been awful. Yeah, you're right.
It would have been beyond awful. So, I mean, that and people don't understand that an announcer's voice, it breaks. I've heard Bruce break all the fucking time.
You shut your mouth.
Shut up. He does. He's not perfect all the time.
You shut your mouth, Jeff.
Fucking
Take
Michael.
It back.
No, fuck you and fuck the horse you rode in on. I'm not taking nothing back. I'm a professional fucking announcer.
Take it back.
Fuck you.
You leave Bruce. You leave Bufferino out of this one.
Fuck you and fuck that. I am an announcer. He is an announcer, and I know what the game is. He has broken several times.
He is the Babe Ruth of announcing.
No, he's not. The Babe Ruth of announcing will always be Howard Finkel. Nobody, no.
That's different. That's kind of hard to compare because it's apples and oranges.
Nobody outthink the Fink. Nobody outthinks the thing.
It's a hard one to argue.
Dude,
that's a hard one to argue.
Nobody had a voice or a presence like his ever.
That's a tough one to argue.
You can't because there's no one to imitate him. No one could imitate him on their best fucking day. No, I'm going to tell you. I think that anybody, see, the thing about it is, the funny thing about it is that how the way people, always, they have love fests over certain announcers. You have to understand when, there is a logic to it. And if anybody knows it, I think I do. I'm in the fucking industry. I think I know what the fuck I'm talking about. When you have an opportunity to organically grow with a company like that, and you're allowed to have creative freedom, which obviously he has, because as we all know, Bruce didn't start off the way that he started off. He didn't have that bravado when he first started off. He was allowed to organically grow within the product. And that's the weird thing about when you're working with MMA or boxing or everything. You never know which organization you represent is going to be the one that takes off and makes you a fucking millionaire.
Right.
You really fucking don't.
Right.
And he was very fortunate that the UFC grew to what it was. He owes everything that he is. Bruce Buffer owes everything that he fucking is to the UFC. as far as his character. Now, as far as his financial wealth, he made so much more money by managing his half brother's career. When he managed the Let's Get Ready to Rumble trademark, I mean, that's only made over $500 million profit. So think about it.
Remember when that was fucking everywhere? Like at one point,
it was sold at everywhere. Video games, food, television, everything, commercials. It was all over. It didn't matter what retail platform it was on. It was absolutely, I mean, it is Americana, and Bruce is a big part of that because of the way that he marketed out and the way that he got the global trademark for it. So I give the guy credit, but as far as the man's personality and how that personality has been allowed to thrive the way it has is because of the UFC. It's because he has built that character out of the UFC. He did not build that character out of any other organization other than the UFC. The UFC is where he was allowed to thrive. So what I'm saying, if I had been in that situation, I would have done the same thing. If any other major announcer was in that same position, they would have done the same thing. If they had been allowed to organically grow with the product. And see that Bruce pissed me off a little bit for one reason, and I'm going to say why. No, there's a legitimate reason. He did something that I'm not too happy about. You can laugh all you fucking want, but I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Bruce says that he believes that there is nobody that can fill his shoes. And I think that that's the biggest bunch of malarkey bullshit that I've ever had, that I've ever heard. I've never heard so much bullshit on that, saying that there's nobody out there that will be able to come in and have the same impact, if not just as much impact as him, or that there's nobody better than me. Bullshit. I accept that fucking challenge any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And you know why I accept that challenge, Josh? There's a very good reason.
Because you're Mr. Live Worldwide.
Fucking A right I am. At this level, Josh, if you don't believe that you're the best, then what the fuck are you doing here?
Fair enough.
What the fuck are you doing at this level if you don't believe that you are the best goddamn announcer in the world?
Fair enough. Now, that was great, by the way, Jeff. I believe in you. I believe in you now.
I don't care if you believe me. I have enough to believe in myself.
I want to return back to Bare Knuckle for a second.
I like how you say return back to, like we never go off.
Well, on a tangent. We got about 8 minutes or so left, and we'll kind of get out of here.
No, we don't. That's you. Yeah, we do. That's you.
We do. Well, fine. I have about 8 minutes left.
See, yeah. So, be honest. You have about 8 minutes left.
I'll be honest.
I've got hours left if you give it to me.
I know you do. I know you do. So I do want to touch upon something. So Feldman, Dave, I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah, why did you say it like that?
I don't know. I have no idea. So he did an interview with I think it was MMA Fighting or MMA Junkie, one of those two sites, and they were talking about Paige Van Zandt, and they were talking about her contract, and this is like from like yesterday or today, and because they were talking about like an update from where Paige was, her husband, Austin Vanderford, he got COVID, and she was worried that she might have it. We don't know. They haven't really said one way or the other.
I haven't heard anything yet.
But and they were kind of just talking to Dave as an update, and they're like, the plan is still moving forward is for her to fight in November on the same card. Now get this, he kind of released the cat out of the bag here. It'll be a double title fight that night. So are
we talking about the November card?
Yep. So the Johnny Bedford, he said that Johnny Bedford and Det, and then the Jim Allers
and Luis Palomino. Yeah, I remember that.
Now and then Paige fighting on that card. Now, that's not the part that was so much as interesting to me. The very interesting part to that was in her contract, and this is straight out of his mouth. In Paige's contract, she is guaranteed at least 2 title fights.
Okay.
I just thought that was really interesting.
No, I mean that makes sense. I mean, you would definitely want to have a little bit of leverage in there to be eventually. I mean, especially if you are planning. If Dave is planning this, and if her management is planning this, to her kind of be the next face of bare knuckle, which I know is the
right. Howie, they talked about there being a female title fight on that card as well. Who are you going to put her against?
I don't know. It's not going to. It's probably not. I mean, I wouldn't see.
You can't put her against Christine.
No,
like you can't do that.
No, not yet. Not yet. Well, apparently,
but here's the thing: if you put her against somebody other than anybody other than say Peralta or Christine, then it shouldn't be a title fight, and that's just the way it is.
I'm reading something right now. Sorry to interrupt. It's on SB Nation, and apparently this is from Paige Van Zant's manager, Maliki Kawa. That's right. And he's saying she's doing better. She's feeling way better. It looks like it's going to be November. Yeah.
Oh, Helen and Christine. Okay, so they are going to redo that fight. Good.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be in November. There's nothing has been talked about. Nothing has been talked about that as of yet. So that's just still. I mean, it could happen in December. If I were to be a betting man, I would see that in December. Because I'd want Christine to get fully healed up after the 6 weeks. I want Christine to be in prime position for December the 4th, which is supposedly our final fight of the 2020, December 4th.
December 4th.
My birthday weekend. All right.
Let me ask you something, Jeff. Maybe you have more insight to this.
Maybe.
Excuse me. I need a drink of water.
Yes, you do.
Maybe you have more insight to this. And
I probably do.
I would love to talk to Mr. Dave about this myself.
Mm-hmm.
The whole DAZN thing. Did it magically just disappear?
I have no information or updated information as far as the State of the Union, as far as the deal continuing with DAZN and Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, because obviously I would think things have changed now that the DAZN is involved with this upcoming lawsuit against Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, well,
I haven't heard anything.
It was just odd, right? Because like during we saw the promo for it during the last card, the free YouTube card, right? Mm-hmm. DAZN themselves advertised it on one of their boxing fights. They actually brought it up. I think they did a promo themselves on their end.
I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what the state of affairs are, State of the Union. I have no idea what's going on as far as DAZN moving forward, since I have heard about the pending lawsuit with Canelo Alvarez, Golden Boy Promotions, and DAZN. So I have no idea. I have no idea if the deal is continuing or if it has been placed on an indefinite hold or a brief hold. I have no idea.
Just interesting.
It is interesting, but that's the fight world. I mean, that can change on a daily basis. It certainly can. It's unfortunate that if it does, but I mean, if you have a fighter, especially at the level of Canelo Alvarez, who says that he has claimed to financial obligations that were not met, and if that is true, and if that is true, then obviously that has to be looked on litigiously. I mean, and I totally understand that, but I don't know. I don't know. I certainly hope that the deal that has been brokered with DAZN is still on and it still moves forward, because I have always said that as far as streaming services, that's where we belong, because DAZN has been really good about bringing out the better in Bellator and bringing out the better in boxing. Well, obviously we know that Bellator is finding a new home with CBS Sports.
Well, you know what? There is the flip side, because from what I understand, the numbers on the app from Saturday night were really, really good. So,
they have, of course,
I wonder if there's a situation to where it just, again, me just thinking about this, I don't know all the ins and out details of anything. So,
and neither do I. I'm not that high up on the totem pole.
I'm just kind of sputtering out the mouth here, right? So why wouldn't you want to keep things in-house? Because I would imagine Dave gets a bigger piece of the pie on something that's like his own branding with the BKTV app, then even though it's a smaller platform right now, you get a bigger share of that pie versus, say, DAZN. It's a bigger platform, but I'm sure his piece of the pie is probably a lot smaller.
Well, the one thing with the DAZN deal is that they are going to be their expectations as far as annual events. It's going to be very aggressive, because anytime that you sign a contract with anyone like DAZN, as far as the product that you have to turn out, the expectations as far as the annual event frequency is going to be very aggressive. I certainly know that. I mean, that usually happens in those situations. I mean, it's a perfect example. You remember when LFA was on Access TV, right, and they were expected to turn out so many shows per year. Now they're on UFC Fight Pass, and they're expected to keep that show amount continuing, moving forward, and such. So anytime you do a deal with that, you always have to have like a real ambitious, you really have to have an ambitious
ducks in a row.
Well, you have to have an ambitious schedule is what you have to have. You have to have a very ambitious schedule. And I think that that's what we're going to see. If DAZN does survive this. I mean, I certainly hope that it is. I hope that this is just a part of it that doesn't necessarily, have the lava overflow into our area and, completely and totally destroy, the broker deal that we have with DAZN. I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, I'm not that high up on the totem pole. I'm just the fucking ring announcer. I'm not part of the business tree. I'm not part of the business tree. So whatever information is released to me is usually, public knowledge.
Right.
Is usually public knowledge. I don't really have, people always ask me for insider information. And I'm like, just like the stock market, man, I usually wait for the trades to be released.
Right.
You keep thinking I have this inside information. I don't.
Well, it's worth a shot.
No. I tell you something, man. I mean, we're a podcast, we're a social media platform. So it's always worth a shot. It's always worth a shot. And I know what you're doing. You're looking at the little clock and you're counting it down because we're already almost 2 minutes past the 2-hour mark. Oh, cut it out. I swear to God, it's like doing a podcast with a fucking librarian. See? Told you.
But Jeff is right. It's getting my old man time, and
I'm older than you are.
Don't laugh, Jeff. Don't laugh. But guys, we really appreciate it. We appreciate getting us to episode 28, and we appreciate
you believe
it. I mean, honestly, I can't. I say it every time, but I honestly can't. I can't.
Every episode, I'm waiting for you to cave. I'm waiting for you to say enough is enough. Jeff is a fucking mic hog. Jeff has a terrible disease, conversationist interruptus, terrible disease. He goes on monologues that literally cross my eyes. If I had a 22 caliber, it would probably actually spend more time against my forehead than in my pocket. I am very surprised that you have put up with this volcano of crispy lust that is Jeff Houston.
Wait.
Volcano of crispy lust. I like that.
Crispy lust.
Yes, crispy for the fact that I have a tan, and lust, well, I'm fucking Jeff Houston. You should expect no less. This volcano of crispy lust that is known as Mr. Live Worldwide Jeff Houston.
I will give you this. Your wordplay is second to none, sir.
It's tough to beat. Oh, speaking of which, before we sign off, when are you going to get your buddy on the show? You know which buddy I'm talking about.
So, I guess once we kind of we just
announce them. Tell everybody who we're talking about. Come on now, don't be shy. Who am I talking about?
I don't know which buddy. I got a lot of buddies.
Your UFC buddy.
Oh, Jason Cousin?
Yeah.
Jason Cousin? Yeah. Yeah, no, he's definitely he wants to come on. You know, like I said, we're going to
I like what he did the last time. He tuned in once we were done, and then peppered his comments throughout.
He's done that a couple times now.
I know.
He's done it a couple times.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying let's get him on.
Yeah. So no, we'll I'll reach out to him. We need to just at least be slightly. We need to be a little more organized, only from the fact of we got to start scheduling guests now.
Howie, what are you saying? He knows his faults. Let me tell you something, Howie. I will never, ever acknowledge my faults when it comes to being in front of a camera. All of my faults will be acknowledged on my own time off camera. When I am on camera, I don't have any fucking faults.
Keep it kayfabe. That's what we do.
Fucking A right.
But guys, I'll tell you what, that's all we got. Look for more.
No, that's all he's got.
That's all I got. Please visit the official Facebook page at Loudmouth Fisticuffs on Facebook. You know where to follow us. We appreciate you so much. I cannot say thank you enough. I am Joshua Furs.
And I am the volcano of crispy lust. Mr. Live Worldwide, Jeff Houston.
Jesus Christ. I can't.
You can.
I can't.